Bonjour à toutes et à tous et bienvenue dans une nouvelle vidéo sur Learn to French. Je m'appelle Eden et j'enseigne le français. Hello and welcome to another video on Learn to French. If you are new here, my name is Eden and I teach French. Aujourd'hui, nous allons essayer de comprendre le subjonctif. So today we are going to try to understand le subjonctif in French. Est-ce que vous êtes prêts? C'est parti. So first of all, le subjonctif, c'est quoi? What is le subjonctif? Le subjonctif, c'est un mode de conjugaison. Now, it's a conjugation mood. What exactly is a conjugation mood? A conjugation mood is the way or the setting in which a verb expresses an action or a state, because you have verbs of action and verbs of state. The moods are the category of the conjugation tenses. So basically you have le mode, and then in those moods, you have the tense. So we have two kinds of moods. We have personal moods and the impersonal moods, les modes personnels et les modes impersonnels. So for the personal moods, we have indicatif, which is the first mood that you learn, le subjonctif, l'impératif, and le conditionnel. And in impersonal moods, we can find moods like l'infinitif, for example. But this is not a lesson about moods, les modes de conjugaison, but a lesson on le subjonctif. So you can see in the bigger picture, you have the moods, and then within those moods, the tenses. So for indicatif, the first tense that you learn is l'indicatif présent. So the present of the indicative in French, l'indicatif présent. And then you have passé simple or passé composé or imparfait and futur, basically all the tenses that fall into that mood. For subjonctif, you have four tenses as well. You have le présent, so le subjonctif présent or le présent du subjonctif, le subjonctif passé, le subjonctif imparfait et le subjonctif plus que parfait. So, here's an example. Le subjonctif présent, que je sois, que tu sois, qu'il soit, etc. Le subjonctif passé, que j'ai été, que tu aies été, qu'il ait été. Le subjonctif imparfait, que je fusse, que tu fusses, qu'il fût. Et le subjonctif plus que parfait, que j'eusse été, que tu eusses été, qu'il eût été. Now, this might sound very weird to you. But I would like to reassure you because the most used ones are going to be the first and the second one, le présent et le passé. Why is that? Simply because for imparfait and plus que parfait here, the subjonctif imparfait and a subjonctif plus que parfait, we rarely use them in spoken French now. You might come across them in literature, for example. Alors, pourquoi le subjonctif? So why the subjunctive? The subjunctive expresses a desired fact, a doubt or an action that is not certain, or even an obligation. So it expresses different things. Those facts and actions are not yet carried out at the moment you are speaking, at the moment you're talking about it. So the subjunctive doesn't really express something that is in the real world as of now. Here's an example. Il faut que j'aille faire les courses. This is using the subjunctive. I have to go grocery shopping. Il faut que j'aille, I have to go faire les courses, grocery shopping. Another example, j'aimerais qu'il soit plus sympathique. I would like him to be nicer. So in both sentences, we have il faut que, an obligation, and the second sentence, we have a wish, a desire. J'aimerais qu'il soit plus sympathique. Another one here, j'irai à la fête à condition que tu viennes avec moi. I will go to the party as long as you come with me. So once again, we're not really in the real world here. So you might have noticed that before the verb in subjonctif, you have que j'aille, qu'il soit, que tu. But beware, not all phrases beginning with que will use the subjunctive, le subjonctif. The subjunctive presents the fact expressed by the verb as possible, as supposed or desired, unlike the indicative, which presents it as real, in the real world. So that's the main difference. This means that the subjunctive is used with verbs expressing wish, desire, emotion, obligation, doubt, or uncertainty. So you have some expressions that are already made to use the subjunctive, such as il faut que needs to be followed by the subjunctive. J'aimerais que is the subjunctive. But when you have a doubt, ask yourself this question: how likely is it going to happen? How certain are you about it? If you're more into certainty, if you're more like sure that it's going to happen, and if you're using expressions before that are indicating how real the situation is, then you use l'indicatif. If you're not that sure, and if right before your verb you have expressions that are indicating a doubt or wishes or desire or uncertainty, then you're more likely to use le subjonctif. You can find online many tables that will show you which expressions are going to use l'indicatif and which expressions are going to use le subjonctif. So let's take a look at the different tenses in subjonctif. The first one, of course, is le subjonctif présent. Subjonctif présent expresses an uncertain action not done at the time of expression. For example, je ne crois pas qu'il soit à la maison. Qu'il soit. I don't believe he's at home. Je ne crois pas que is going to be followed by subjunctif. So here we see that it's uncertain. Je ne crois pas. We're not really in the real world. Le subjonctif passé. Subjunctif passé expresses a past action, punctual and accomplished. It expresses an uncertain action supposed to have been carried out at the time we speak. Let's see an example. Je ne pense pas qu'il ait eu une bonne note. So, je ne pense pas que is going to be followed by subjonctif. Je ne pense pas qu'il ait eu une bonne note. Subjonctif passé. I don't think he got a good grade. So here are the important elements. Je ne pense pas que is in the present tense. Je ne pense pas que. I do not think. Je ne pense pas que. So we're in the present tense. The first part of the sentence is in the present tense. And then we're talking about something that you don't think happened in the past. So you're going to adapt that. Le subjonctif passé. And not le subjonctif présent, because you're talking about the fact that he did not get a good grade. No, I don't think he got a good grade. Je ne pense pas qu'il ait eu une bonne note. Le subjonctif imparfait expresses a past, unaccomplished action that lasts in time, which is why we're calling it imparfait. It's a simple tense, meaning there's only one verb in it, like it's not composed. It's not a composed tense. It is a simple tense that expresses an uncertain action, once again, not realized, not done at the time the speaker was speaking. So this is where things get a little more complicated, but I'll show you something that could help you. So, je ne pensais pas qu'il fût marié. I didn't think he was married. Je ne pensais pas qu'il fût marié. Now take a look at the principal clause. Je ne pensais pas, the first part of the sentence. Instead of having the present tense here, we have l'imparfait. It's in the past tense. Je ne pensais pas qu'il fût marié. So the past, right here, je ne pensais pas. So in order for your speech to make sense, you have to switch to the past as well for your subjonctif. Je ne pensais pas qu'il fût marié. I didn't think he was married. Now, qu'il fût is our subjonctif imparfait here. And the last one, le subjonctif plus que parfait, expresses the precedence of a past action over another past action. So you see the subjonctif imparfait and le subjonctif plus que parfait is even farther in the past. So the past within the past. It expresses, of course, an uncertain action assumed to have taken place at the time the speaker was speaking. So here's an example. Je doutais qu'il eût terminé. Qu'il eût terminé is our subjonctif plus que parfait. L'examen dans les temps. So, what are the elements here? We have il eut. So, il eut is our a subjonctif imparfait, and then followed by un participe passé, a past participle. So that's what we call le subjonctif plus que parfait. Your auxiliary verb is going to be in subjonctif imparfait. Je doutais qu'il eût terminé l'examen dans les temps. So I doubted, or I was doubting, he would have completed the exam in time. See how this goes? It's the past within the past. Take a look once again at the principal clause, je doutais. So we are in imparfait here, but you're talking about something that once again happened once more in the past, like right before that imparfait. Luckily for you, the two last tenses, as I have specified it before, are not used that much anymore. They tend to be replaced with either le subjonctif présent or le subjonctif passé. So we use them in a very formal context or in literature. The reason why these tenses exist, it's actually because of something that we call la concordance des temps. La concordance des temps, what we call in English sequence of tenses. In French, your speech has to stay logical. So this is what we were talking about when we say la concordance des temps, is that your tenses need to stay logical. Your speech has to stay logical. What do I mean by that? If you started a sentence with, for example, the past in the principal clause, like the first part of your sentence is in the past, then the rest should be adapted to that. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense grammar-wise. So the principal clause is in the past, so your subordinate clause, the second part, like what's coming after, should also have a tense that goes along with this concept of past that you can find in the principal clause. So how do we form le subjonctif présent? For regular verbs, it's quite simple. You will use que and then the verb. So que, je, que, tu, qu'il, elle, on. And how do you form that? Well, for je, you're going to have the stem of the verb and then add an E. Remember, in French, learning the endings for your conjugation is quite useful. Tu, and then the stem of the verb and ES. Il, elle, on, stem and E, so it's I, ES, I. And then nous, IONS, vous, IEZ, and il and elle, ENT. So let's take a look at a regular verb, which is the verb chanter, for example. Que je chante, I. Que tu chantes, IS. Qu'il chante, I. Que nous chantions, IONS. Que vous chantiez, IEZ. Qu'il chante, ENT. However, you have some very important irregular verbs that you need to master, so let's take a look at them right now. Le verbe être, to be. Que je sois, que tu sois, qu'il soit, que nous soyons, que vous soyez, qu'il soit. Le verbe avoir, to have. Que j'ai, que tu aies, qu'il ait, que nous ayons, que vous ayez, qu'ils aient. Once again, que j'ai, que tu aies, qu'il ait, que nous ayons, que vous ayez, qu'ils aient. Le verbe aller, que j'aille, que tu ailles, qu'il aille, que nous allions, que vous alliez, qu'ils aillent. Encore une fois, que j'aille, que tu ailles, qu'il aille, que nous allions, que vous alliez, qu'ils aillent. Le verbe savoir, que je sache, que tu saches, qu'il sache, que nous sachions, que vous sachiez, qu'il sache. Le verbe pouvoir, que je puisse, que tu puisses, qu'il puisse, que nous puissions, que vous puissiez, qu'il puisse. So remember, we only learned forming the subjonctif présent here. We're not going further into le subjonctif passé or imparfait here, just focusing on le subjonctif présent right now. Cette leçon est maintenant terminée. I hope that you enjoyed staying with me today. If you like this kind of content, of course, make sure to subscribe to my channel and also like this video or leave a comment down below. Merci beaucoup d'être resté avec moi aujourd'hui et je vous dis à bientôt pour une nouvelle vidéo. Au revoir!